Welcome to what will be a bit of a deep dive into halftime, full-time. I just wanted to make a video just showing how I would use OddAlerts to find games for this market, halftime, full-time. I've had a few requests, firstly to add draw at halftime, trends, and I've done that. Here it is. And if you're not familiar with trends, I'll just go over the layout because you've got a lot of different markets here that you can filter for. So drawing at halftime, it's an important component of halftime, full-time. And if you're not aware of what halftime, full-time is, it's the ability to couple the halftime and full-time result and have it as one bet. So you might use it to bet on a strong home team or something. You'll get better odds if you say that they are going to be winning by halftime as well. Man City or Bayern Munich or something, for example. Marginally better odds with those teams, but with using these tools and the quick filters, as I'll show you in a moment, you'll be able to find lesser known teams that have got really good records at halftime, or the other side of the coin, as we'll see in a minute, teams that just don't do well at home or away, or teams that have lost many games at halftime. So just to give you a quick rundown of the layout for trends, you have home teams, away teams, and then you've got overall, which is sort of merging all of the stats. So here we can see that the home form of Dunkirk has seen them draw 9 out of 10 games by halftime. So that's pretty impressive, it's pretty remarkable. And I like to suggest using trends as a bit of an entry point into a market, into teams, into fixtures. Because here you've got Dunkirk, you might just look at that and say 90% over evens, fantastic bet. But we don't know who they're playing. So we can take a look at this, and it's in the second division in France, and they're playing third. Okay, so they're playing third in the league. The next step, within the context of this bet, I would go to the timing section, and that is interesting actually. That it's not proving my point that we shouldn't take the bet, because actually they have not won a single game by half time away from home. So this draw at half time looks fantastic, really, doesn't it? They've scored 2 goals in all of their first half games. So that's 2 goals in 10 first halves at home, whereas the away team has scored 1, and we can toggle this for overall, and it's still looking good for a draw, isn't it? Really, 68% in all games for Dunkirk, 90%, 9 out of 10. This looks good, and you know what? I'm going to add it as my bet of the day just whilst we're on this halftime result, just over evens. I will add that, and there we go. And if you're in the Discord, if you're not in the Discord, this is just a little bit of a FYI. This will get pinged into the Discord as there's a feed where all of the bet of the days are selected. So yeah, a little bit off topic there, but I'm just trying to show you my own research flow. These are the kind of things I would look at. So how many goals have they scored in the first half? How many goals have they conceded? And of course, these stats are majorly important when you're looking at either betting on the draw at halftime. Draw at halftime is a popular market, and people sometimes bet on the under for goals, but I just find it's a little bit safer just to bet on the draw, just in case there is a goal or two, or maybe you cover 1-1 just in case an early goal opens up the game in the first half. Maybe it's an away goal. Just a little bit safer to go for the draw, I think. So you can see here that actually a lot of their games don't finish 0-0. So just again, another bet that I might look at would be that the second half is the half with most goals. They failed to score in 47% of games at home. That's 50%, so they're statistically just a little bit worse at home. Okay, so that's the Dunkirk game. That's drawing at halftime. Now we can look at lost at halftime, and by default this will show you games in the next 5 days. If you want to just view today in the next 24 hours, you can view that by clicking this link here. And it brings us this team here at the top of the pile. Odds are 3-1, so they've lost 5 out of 6 at home. We can take a look at this game. It's in Tanzania, so I mean, maybe not the most reputable of leagues, but this home team has actually lost, they've not won a game at all. So again, within the context of half-time, full-time, they've not scored a goal in the first half. Let's have a look at their recent results. So again, you know, as we said, they've not won a home game. They've been losing in the last 5 home games played by half-time. And as we know, it's 5 out of 6 from the trends page. So again, it just backs up the feeling that I have anyway, that the trends page is a good starting point, and that's personally what I use it as. So I'll go to the trends page, take a look at this, and if there's anything in these related stats that puts me off, then I'll just close it, move on, or I'll do what we've just done and open the game and have a bit of a look. So this away team's not bad at all, actually, and they haven't lost at half-time in the last 5. So I think, let's have a look at this, Mbeya. We would look at this, and just to see if the half-time, full-time is being offered. And it is. So the away team is actually not the favourites for this game, surprisingly. And I say surprisingly because, well, we've just seen the form. Very low scoring team. They've failed to score in 3 out of 5 games. And as we see, the away team is capable of scoring, but at the same time, they're quite tight, nothing special. We look at the goals section here. They've scored 3 goals at home all season. The away team scored 5. Still pretty early in this league. We can look at overall form just to get a general view of who might be the best team. And again, it's marginal, isn't it? But the away team is slightly better. They've both got the same goal difference, interestingly. But if we toggle that to away form, then clearly there is a better team here. So you might look at this half-time, full-time, and this is where people might go draw and away. But as we know, the home team has lost 5 out of 6. So you might do this, and you've got 4-1 there. It's not bad. Interesting that the odds for half-time result were, you don't get much more. So if they mount a comeback, as they did in a few games, I noticed that they were 2-0 down in one fixture. Yeah, they were 2-0 down in one fixture and brought it back to 2-2. You don't get much more for your money there. So that's what I would look at in terms of half-time, full-time. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else from trends before I go to quick filters and show you how you can create your own filters and all of these stats that you look out for. So if you're clicking onto a game and you're looking at something that you don't like the look of, that you just haven't, let's say you're looking at half-time winners, they haven't scored enough goals for you, then you might just want to scrap that and just remember those stats that turn you off, because you can then add them into quick filters and you can make sure that they're there or not there. So speaking of quick filters, we will go and create one now, and you click the little filter icon here, and then you can just add as many rules as you want. So if you've watched any of my videos before, you'll know that the first thing I do is just set a minimum number of games played, and we're going to set 10, just nice and easy. You can have it as 12, 15, 20, depending on the markets you're going for and whatnot. So let's look at half-time winners, okay? We'll look at teams that consistently win in the first half. So let's look at home teams where they've won at least 60% of games by half-time, and we can just save that rule, and you can just sort the feed. And the good thing about quick filters is you can just keep going in. So there's no teams playing today that have won 60% of games at halftime. Overall, remember. Change that to 50, and we get a few teams. Okay, so this team in Saudi Arabia is first against 4 teams, so I'm going to assume that the odds are quite low, 1.5. Probability rating of 61%. So let's take a look at these stats. So they've won 78% of games, 67% of games by half-time when playing at home. This away team really doesn't score many goals away from home. They've not scored in the second half at all. So that's something that stands out to me straight away. How many times have they played away from home? A fair few. A fair few. And they've conceded 7 in the last 2 away games. 15 for January, so they played last week. This is looking like a pretty solid bet actually for half-time, full-time. Yeah, recent form, they're conceding quite a few goals, aren't they? And if we look at that timing chart, I think it's probably worth. Well, we can just explore, and this is again why it's good to have Bet365 open, and so you can just check some of the stats, and there we are, 2.37. So you do get a little bit extra value for your money, really. So both teams to score. I'm not interested in both teams to score. Both teams to score first half, second half. Second half goals. So I think they are going to score in the second half, just based on the stats there. This is the wrong game, isn't it? Where's it gone? Oh, there it is. Yeah, so they've conceded 1.29 goals per game. You can see that it's very likely that this team is going to score first and they're going to win. And the away team has not scored a single goal in the second half yet this season. These are the things that stand out. So you might look at... I would just look at half-time, full-time. I would take the chance that that this away team is going to continue in the way that they have, and 67% of games they've won by half-time. They're clearly the better side. Is still a decent enough number for me to go in on this, and you can just see here by the goals section as well, they're just clearly better, and I think they'll be on top. You look at their general form, they're on fire, aren't they? They've won the last 7 games. So yeah, look at the recent head-to-head as well. So they scored in the first half against this opponent. They won the last game. In February of 21, the away team beat them away from home, so something to consider as well. But these games have contained goals. We've got BTTS happening quite a bit. 80% of games, 80% of the 26. So that goes against the current form, really. And again, that's why it's there. It's important to check, because it might swing your decision one way or another. Yeah, so that's quick filtering, and I mean this is just one stat, 1 at half-time percentage, but you can see how it narrows down. There's probably about 500 games being played today or something, but you can see how it narrows down to what have we got here, 6 games. And you can change this stat. Let's just add another, because you might put more weight on a poor team than a strong team, if that makes sense. So you might put more weight on the away team being really bad, and you can do that as well. So let's look at the lost at halftime percentage. All games, let's go 60% again, and we can search. Again, there's no games. Let's put that down to 50 and see if we get any teams, and we do, similar to before. And again, we're looking at overall games, so this is including their home stats as well. And we've got, are we ranking? Nope. Again, you just click to sort and then search again. and now we know that the team at the top is statistically the worst in terms of losing at halftime. But I'm just going to go to this bottom game because, again, the probability rating there for the home win has just caught my eye. And okay, so straight away, this team has lost 63% of all away games. Overall form, 67% of games. Looking at the timing charts, that is interesting. So whilst this team is considered the favourites, I mean, I'm guessing it's because of how bad the home team is. They just really don't score many goals, this home team. If we look at their home record, yeah, they're okay. And the away team, as you can see, 4-0, 8-1, 3-0. You can see here where there's no half-time score, that means the data isn't available. I'll try and re-pull that, but it will take it into account on the timing section. It'll give you details for what is there. And the timing section actually won't appear if there isn't enough data. So just bear that in mind when you are looking at some data. It must be the FAW must be quite an obscure league in Wales. So let's look at the Liga Bet. This one came up as the top game when ranking the teams. And the away teams lost 71% of games. We look at the I know this is the same, so yeah, this doesn't have enough data, so you won't see the timing charts. So yeah, that's something you should know when you're doing this. If you don't see the timing charts, it means there's not enough data, and it'll still rank because of the data that's in the background. But if you're looking at specific timings, like the average first goal time, stuff like that, you won't see the timing charts just because there's not enough data there. It's better to hide it, I think, rather than show you incomplete data, because this might make up your mind one way or the other. And if the data's not 100%, then I just don't show it. It's not worth it. I don't want you making bets that are guided by incomplete data. And it's the same across other sites as well. It's not that there's an issue getting the data, it's just that the data isn't actually there yet. It's a manual process for people out there to actually get it when the leagues are so low. We can get the halftime score in, but the timing of the actual goals comes maybe a few days later or something, depending on the fixtures. So in the French national, no such worries here. This is a very, well, it's not a major league, but it is a major league. In France, it's sort of like the conference, if you will. And you can see 78% of games drawn at halftime, lost at halftime. So you might look at the home team there and see how they're capable of scoring, aren't they? The away team has lost at halftime, as we've just seen in the majority of their games. So this is what I would do. This is part of the research. I can't tell you how to think about this sort of stuff. You've just got to test the water, really, and just look at a few games per day, and just make some assumptions on them and see how they do. And what I'll do actually is create a bankroll, and I will keep you updated on this bankroll. So halftime results, betting on halftime results using the new trends pages and quick filters. Okay, so we're going to start with £100, and I will add some games to this. And yeah, stay tuned on Twitter, and I'll share this bankroll, and I'll share some of the bets that I put in there. I think the Saudi game that we came across was probably one of the better ones for today. And just finally as well, if you I think there was a stat before where we didn't have any fixtures coming up for today. Was it 1 at half time % 60 for all of their games? So if we save that, and yeah, there was no games. But what you can do with quick filters, if you click the calendar, you'll see this next 5 days button. And if you click that, the likelihood is there's games coming up that do match these filters. So we can see Inter Milan here, potentially a pretty good angle to look at. And again, there's not many games, because you're looking at teams here that have won 60% or more of all games by half time. That's a pretty high percentage when it comes to winning at half times, because typically it's the first half of a football match, and the first half of the first half is quite a tight affair. If you've got a team that's playing away from home against a better team, like in the case here, you know, with the Inter Milan game, the main objective really at first is, let's just keep things tight. Let's suss out what the other team is doing tactically, and we'll just try and survive until half time. I mean, you've got first against 15th in Portugal, first against 20th here, and then first against 17th in Italy. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how these games go. This is a market I'm going to be exploring a little bit more, and this is why I wanted to do this video. I know I've rambled a little bit, so I'll try and condense everything into the article that will be going on the Insights blog. And if you've got any questions, let me know, and I'll answer them, and I can share some filters and stuff on Twitter. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this and got something out of it. I think someone asked for more videos like the ones that are on YouTube, just because they're not planned, and you can see how someone might go from a game to a bet. You know, what is the thought process. So yep, as always, enjoy, and look forward to your feedback. Thanks.